fight, you had something planned. Is there anything you want to say to someone out there? You said you wanted to call someone out.
Wow. Obviously, man's got this belt right now. If any YouTuber wants it, you can come get it. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care.
/PSI/KSI. He called Logan and I out. He boxed someone else. At the end of it, he called out me, Logan. Like, he's not relevant enough for me or Logan to fight him, and it just honestly wouldn't be fair. I'm more than serious.
You wanna box me right now? Just to cut a long story short, the fight is happening. August 25th, the fight is happening. I'm gonna be fighting Jake Paul.
He makes a video calling me a pussy.
Knocked out on the canvas, and your family's watching you. All you're gonna hear is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think my man's got a soft chin. I think he's got a soft chin.
Okay, you think he got a soft chin?
I wanna crack his chin.
You wanna crack his chin?
I'm gonna crack his chin.
You're gonna crack
He's never trained in his life. He's just been a gamer his whole entire life. He's not an athlete.
I'm so excited for this fight. August 25th is going to be the best.
Over the stage, the challenger, Logan Paul. Coming to the stage. Okay. The reigning, defending YouTube champ of the world, KSI.
What are you going to do, Logan? What are you going to do when you lose?
I'm gonna beat you twice, and then Jake's gonna beat you, and then your career's gonna be done. That's gonna be weird.
Now it's just part of ego. I feel like obviously Logan thinks he's the top dog, and he's not. I'm just gonna literally run through you, bro.
So at the end of the day, it's just two dudes who are gonna beat the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna knock him out.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
I just come from an athletic background, and I'm not used to a YouTuber calling me out for something that I'm like really good at.
Wouldn't it be funny if he lost then? Like throughout this whole interview, you're literally looking everywhere but my eyes.
Welcome to London, motherfucker!
I'm kind of done with the talk and the bullshit.
Right, so today this is going to be basically like the first podcast. But basically this one's going to be about, well, what's happening next week and KSI versus Logan Paul fight. I'm just going to be looking at a few questions about the fight, surrounding the fight. At the end, I'm gonna give my predictions on the fight and my predictions on undercards as well. So, how do I watch the KSI versus Logan Paul fight for free? To be honest, this is one of my complaints about the whole thing is that JJ has come out and said in a tweet that they pay-per-viewed the fight because they're trying to make the money back for everything like the venue, which is Manchester Arena. And then just basically all the costs, they need to earn it back somehow. These guys, they live in $1 million mansions, so I find it very hard to believe that they're not earning enough money, or they can't make that money back off of the amount of views they're gonna get off videos surrounding this fight. Like, come on, let's be real. You don't need to pay-per-view it. And if you do, why is it like, it's like 13, I think it's like $12 or $13 in Australia. Like, that's a bit ridiculous. Like, maybe $6 or $5, but $13 is freaking ridiculous. The price has gone up as well. It's gone up like $3. So I just find it a bit stupid that they're pay-per-viewing the fight, especially like the undercards and stuff. But I guess the event comes as a whole one package, so it makes sense. But at the same time, I don't think just think they're trying to make more and more money off of this as much as they can. They don't need the money from the pay-per-view. Who would win in a fight between Bruce Wayne with a blindfold on versus KSI, Deji, Logan Paul, and Jake Paul? Well, Bruce Wayne's gonna win because Bruce Wayne, man, he's Batman. He's got the fighting experience from training with the League of Shadows, right? He's got all that martial arts background. He's a detective. He's way smarter than the two inbred Paul brothers. But these guys are all incredibly smart. And honestly, I think the one thing people don't really realize about Jake is that he's an incredibly smart guy, in the fact that he's playing the villain most of the time in whatever he does. Everything he does, he's actually got a smart mind of looking at how many views it's going to get him, and you know, all these guys are incredibly smart because they've jumped on an event which they know will make money. JJ knows the last fight made a lot of money. It got a lot of viewership. This one's going to be twice as big because of Logan's following and Jake's following, combined with JJ's following and Deji's following. It's going to be a huge event. Every one of these guys, they know it's going to be a huge event and they're going to be making a crap ton of money off of it. So why the hell wouldn't you train that much and like put all that much effort into going into an event like this that was going to make you a crap ton of money? Of course they're going to do it. I would do it. They're probably earning millions off of this, I reckon. I don't know, like, I'm just spitballing and shitting out my mouth, but it's probably around the millions that they're earning off of this event. They're actually pretty smart business guys, all of them, and I think Jake, I've seen that a lot with him, that he's actually, you know, he's a fucking retard, but, you know, he actually might be an incredibly smart guy in the way he does all of his business. I got a hats off to Bruce Wayne. He just kicked all their asses, no problem, probably over faster than the KSI and Logan Paul fight will be. What do you think about the KSI versus Logan Paul UK press conference? A lot of people say that the UK press conference wasn't as good as the American press conference. I think that's a load of fucking bullshit. I think 100% the UK press conference was better. Anything is better than the US press conference. I'm sorry, it was shambles. Shannon Briggs is a horrible moderator. I was like telling my mates we should play a drinking game where anytime Shannon Briggs says champ, or Jake Paul or Logan Paul says Walmart, you take a shot, and I reckon by the end of that video, you'll be having alcohol poisoning. I think Shannon Briggs was terrible at his job, and it was very one-sided, because Shannon Briggs is definitely team Jake and Logan Paul, so it's kind of biased from that point of view. Even though Logan had a whole fit about how True Geordie was biased with KSI, even though in the last fight, Shannon Briggs got, True Geordie got a lot of crap because apparently he was being biased in his commentary, siding with Joe Weller over JJ when they were having the fight. The commentary was very biased apparently, so apparently now he's biased with JJ. So I think, yeah, JJ and True Geordie are friends, but Logan can't really talk because Shannon Briggs is definitely team Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Getting back to if it was better, I think it's better, one, because I don't really appreciate I don't really think what the UK fans were doing was making our country look good at all. I think it made England look bad because, you know, the US fans were loud and noisy, but that's okay. They didn't actually throw or do anything. The fans at the UK one were out of order, and they weren't, their behaviour was poor compared to the ones at the US press conference. I was surprised because honestly, Logan Paul and Jake Paul's fans are like clearly like made up of like 5 and 6 year olds, so basically I was surprised that they wouldn't do anything stupid, because I'm pretty sure if Logan told them to jump off a bridge, they would do it. I was surprised at how well controlled the fans were there. Of course it was really one-sided because the US is Logan and Jake's home ground. Like, they're from Ohio, but the main place is LA, right? So it's not surprising that they were one-sided. I think it was the same with the UK press conference, that the UK press conference was really one-sided as well. That's Logan's fault. If Logan really was complaining so much about how JJ was hogging the mic, he wasn't letting him speak, I'm like, I'm sorry, Logan, but the whole point of the press conference is to get the drama going, get the beef riled up, and hype up the fight. So it's all about trash talking. If Logan's very upset about, like, I didn't appreciate a lot of the things that JJ said. I think it was a little bit out of order bringing the girlfriend into it. I don't think there was any need to bring Chloe into it. I think the fans saying she's a hoe, and stuff like that, that's completely out of order, and there was no need to say anything like that. And JJ said that, like, oh, he was telling them, he was signaling that I'm not telling them to say this, but JJ was enticing the fans to go there and say that kind of thing. So arguably that was JJ's fault, even if he says that he was signaling that he didn't want them to say that. I think that a lot of people I think the US press conference was just made up of Logan Paul and Jake Paul saying Walmart all the time. And it was just really stupid in that sense, and I think that it was the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Things with, like, JJ wearing the Logan Paul wig, and he did the same in the UK press conference, I think was a little freaking, he just looked like a numpty, honestly. That kind of stuff I think is really cringy. I don't get that kind of stuff, but for the most part, the UK press conference was largely better, in the sense that, like, I just think it was well organized. The mics were working. The mics weren't working in the US press conference. Things weren't well organized. I don't know who was managing it. I'm guessing Logan's team, because Jeff was the person who introduced it. Jeff is Logan's manager. So I think that that's poor on their side if they've done it. Whoever managed that's poor on their side. Bringing in Shannon Briggs was stupid, because I'm sorry, hats off to him, previous world champion, but he is a freaking idiot when it comes to moderating. I think True Geordie 100% all the way should be doing that kind of stuff, and think he's completely better. Although a lot of people had a go at True Geordie because True Geordie wasn't saying or asking any questions. I was like, just watch one of True Geordie's videos. He explains that it was impossible for anyone to hear anything when they were on stage because the crowd was screaming. I think everything that went wrong with the UK press conference was the fans' fault. The fans were out of control. No one was controlling them. There wasn't enough security there, obviously, to control those fans. I mean, I can't say that because I can't imagine what it was like for the security there, or people like True Geordie to manage that. You wouldn't be able to get a word in. It's just, try talking over those fans. It'd be impossible. I can imagine that. But I still feel like a lot more should have been planned in that area. But I think overall, the UK press conference was better because it was less cringy, it was more shit-talking, more entertaining. Yeah, the fans got out of control, and it was bad. If you're gonna, like, see the UK press conference and all the fans went out of control, hit Greg Paul in the head, you're gonna click on that. So it's gonna get a lot of attention compared to the US press conference where none of the fans got out of control. Imagine if you saw fans pile onto stage and Logan Paul and JJ start attacking each other. You see that on the news, or you see it in a news article or in a YouTube video, you're clicking on that. It's gonna get so much attention. So from that point of view, it's entertaining to the audience to see that kind of stuff. And a lot of people were saying, you know, like, afterwards there was a lot of, like, whole, like, drama and beef. S.L.A.D.I.N, I don't know if I got his name right, he came out and said that Deji was responsible for the fans attacking Jake and Logan's dad. And he enticed them, he told them to go after Logan and Jake and every one of their friends and their team, and attack them, and the cars got damaged. I really didn't see that much damage to the car, but it's an expensive car, so I'm guessing any kind of damage to it is going to be really expensive. So I can see why Izadi's mad, but I think what he did afterwards, where he spray painted, well, I don't know if it was him or not, but it was definitely one of his fans. I'm pretty sure he told his fans to do that. There's no proof of that, but I'm just spitballing here that I think Izadi is a pretty risky guy. He likes to just do stuff that's dumb and stupid, and yeah, and I think I think he was involved in spray painting the gym that Deji's training at, and I think that it was just a very low and very childish thing to do to get revenge on Deji, because he thinks that Deji and told the fans to do that. And there is a video that got taken down by YouTube because it didn't follow their policies. That Deji was saying, "Oh, we're from London or something like that, and out here, when we want to go do something, we go and do it."
You can go out and find them in London. If you do what you want. I don't care. They're in our country. They're in our territory. You don't know how it is in England. You guys think you're safe? We'll shank you, twist the knife, and leave it in. That's what we do. We're from there. That's where we're from. That's what we do. Rest in peace, Logan and Jake Paul. That's what I'm saying. Rest in peace. Do what you will. Do what you want to Jake Paul and Logan.
At the same time, Deji also said, "Don't go for them. Let me go for them first."
You know what, Logan? I like how you just didn't add the part where I said don't attack.
In Deji's case, he did say that, but at the same time, he did entice those fans. He can't say he didn't entice the fans. He did entice the fans, but he never directly told them to go and attack Jake and Logan's dad, Greg Paul. I think Greg was a bit of an idiot in the whole thing. He embarrassed himself completely when he picked up the mic, trying to talk back against JJ. I think if he ignored him, it would have looked way better on his point of view. I think he made Logan look completely worse than he already was looking. Logan, you could clearly see he was embarrassed, telling him to shut up. And then in another video, I'm pretty sure I saw Logan tell him to shut up when he was getting out the car, telling the driver to get out. And I think if Greg didn't want to get hit in the head by the fan, he shouldn't have been walking on the street with the fans. He shouldn't have been running with the fans. He shouldn't have been anywhere near that. He should have gotten his car and he should have left instead of trying to control the entire situation, which isn't his job. It's not his job. Let other people handle it. And arguably, probably a lot of people that were supposed to be handling it weren't handling it. But Greg's fault, 100% for him getting hit in the head, because he was there. He was in the crowd. He was walking with the fans. What do you think's going to happen? They're throwing stuff. They're literally throwing stuff. What do you think they're going to do if they see you? They're going to do something really stupid. So that's why I think the UK fans were a bit out of order and they made their country look bad. So everyone who was throwing stuff and attacking people, you should feel really bad about yourselves. So I think the UK press conference was better because it was more well organised. And I think Logan needs to stop complaining about how JJ was hogging the mic, and he should have just gone out and said something. I feel like he could have said something. And at the same time, I think they were literally that close. JJ was about to stop and they were about to hit into questions, and True Geordie said this, that they were just so close, and then Logan got up and walked away. So I think if Logan stayed for a few more minutes, they would have sat down, JJ would have been done saying everything he needed to say, got all the words out, and then they could have sat down and answered some questions. But Logan, you can see he's got a temperament on it. I don't think he's got a real control over his emotions. You could see in the US press conference he touched JJ's head after he's talking about the suicide video and the forest. He clearly got to Logan. So you can see in the US and the UK press conference that Logan has no real control of his emotions. He can't handle it. He's a bit of a baby in that sense. But at the same time, if people are saying my girlfriend's a hoe, I'm probably going to get up and leave. But at the same time, I know it's a press conference. This is going to happen. I need to walk in expecting this is going to happen. And I need to be prepared for it instead of just going, this isn't going my way for once. I'm mad. I don't like this. It's not me saying everything, shouting Walmart. I don't have complete control, which they should have expected. They're going to the UK, which is Deji and JJ's home ground. They got to expect that this is going to happen. The fans are going to be on their side. And hats off. I saw in the video, and I heard a lot of people talk about this. There was a girl, and she was a Logan Paul supporter. She was wearing all the merch and everything, and she was shouting Logan Paul, supporting him. I'm like, hats off. You're surrounded by fans that are doing that, and those fans are dangerous, man. They look dodgy. They're just like the way they did stuff after the event. I was like, hats off. I would not have the balls to start be the only person there supporting them. I'm like, geez, hats off to that girl. Logan Paul really needs to sort out his emotions and get control of it. Otherwise, he's not going to win this fight from the mental point of view because he's letting JJ get to him. But hats off to JJ because JJ got under his skin. You can see that JJ got under his skin, which is good on JJ's side that he won that mental battle twice. I think, yeah, from that point of view, Logan was looking to support from True Geordie, and True Geordie was just like, how do you expect me to control this? Because no one can control what was happening then. no one could stop what was happening then. I think JJ 5 minutes of ranting wasn't that long. I think Logan could sit there for 5 minutes and just deal with it, and he did, but then he walked off. So I think Logan just should have stayed there a little bit longer, and they could have actually got into questions and stuff. I think the face-to-face stuff was very good because they had the questions going and all that. But yeah, overall the UK press conference was a lot better. Who started the KSI versus Logan Paul and Deji versus Jake Paul fight? KSI started the whole thing. He called out Logan, Jake, or any of the Pauls.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care. Bring it.
At the end of his fight against Joe, and I'm not surprised, it was a very underwhelming fight. Joe didn't really do much. It looked like he was just a guy who didn't even know where he was, and he just accidentally walked in and they put boxing gloves on his hands, and he was just like, alright, yeah, I'll just do this. Because he was completely absent for that fight. So I think JJ was just calling them out because he knew that they were the biggest thing on YouTube at that point, and of course he's going to get the views off of it, and it will be attracting a lot more fans that time instead of the Joella fight, which still attracted fans, but it's going to be bigger if you going up against Logan Paul. Probably a more entertaining fight as well, since Logan's more of an athlete. So yeah, JJ started that, and then I think it was JJ versus Jake, and then Jake pussied out, or P word, sorry, you know, he doesn't like to say the P word. But yeah, basically he pussied out, and then I don't know, I think Deji just got involved when he shouldn't have, but I guess he just knew that if he got on the bandwagon and they started a fight that he would earn a lot of money off of it. So Deji and Jake started going at each other, and then I think JJ and Logan became an official thing after that because Jake refused to fight JJ, even though he's saying he wants to fight him now. And then Deji and Jake, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it was Jake who challenged Deji, and then Deji made a video and he was challenging Jake as well, so I think it was both of them, really. What do you think about the fight between Logan and KSI? I think this fight is going to attract casual boxing fans. So you got your two different boxing fans. You got your full-time boxing fans who are fanatics about the sport, who really care about everything, like all the details about the sport and the professionalism of it. And then you've got your casual fans who like the drama and the beef and the hyping up of the fight, and then just the fight in general, who kind of casually watch it, but they don't really know all the aspects of the fight and the stats behind the fighters. So I think from a full-time, from a person who really is into boxing, and like, for me, I feel like I'm still a casual fan, but I think if you're looking at it from a professional point of view, there's pros and cons to this for the boxing community. The cons are that these aren't professional fighters. JJ's had one fight. That doesn't make him a professional fighter. It gives him the edge on Logan because he's got the experience, but it doesn't make him a professional fighter in any way possible. So I think from that point of view, they're not going to be able to, they're not really going to know what they're doing. If you looked at the Joe and JJ fight, hats off to them, they trained for it, they put the effort in, but they didn't know what they were doing. It looked very stupid from that point of view, that they didn't really know what they're doing, and it wasn't an entertaining fight for actual boxing fans. But for casual fans, it's like, oh, there's so much hype and stuff, right? But the cons are, it makes the boxing community look a little bit silly. If you look at their press conferences, they're cringy and very silly compared to professional boxing press conferences, are very professional and, like, you know, well organized. So from that point of view, it makes the boxing community look a bit silly and look a bit like it's not about the sport, it's more about the views and stuff like that and the attention of it. But the cons, yeah, is that they're not really professional fighters, so the fight won't really be that good, to be honest. Like, we're not going to get that many rounds off of it. These guys are going to get very tired. Honestly, both of them, with JJ and Logan and Jake and Deji, they've all said they're going to knock each other out, and they've all changed their, you know, predictions of what they're going to do. None of them are going to knock each other out. Get this straight, guys. None of these fighters are going to knock each other out. They're not going to knock each other out. I don't care if Logan's an athlete. He's not going to knock JJ out. JJ's not going to knock Logan out. I find it very hard to believe that any one of these people, any one of these four guys are going to knock each other out, because they're not professional fighters. They don't know what they're doing, and they don't know 100% about what they need to do with their hands and how much the power they need to put in. I just think that they're not trained well enough to knock each other out. I don't think they're there yet. So I don't think you're going to see a knockout. I think you're going to see maybe 4 rounds, maybe 5 rounds max. I don't think they've got the energy to go any longer than that. But we'll see. These guys are trained. They put in a lot of effort into it. So hats off to them. Good job and effort to all of them. They put in the training and they're putting in the work. So they could be really interesting. I think the pros of this to the boxing community is that it brings so much attention. These guys, JJ's got 19 million subs, Logan's got 18 million, Jake's probably got around 16 million, and I don't know, I think Deji's got around 10 million. So these guys, they bring in the views, they rake in those viewers, and they bring in those viewers. They've sold out the Manchester Arena. Yeah, so like I was saying, I've been to Manchester Arena, and it's not, it's a huge place. So for Logan and JJ to be able to sell that out already shows how they're having a positive effect, in the sense that a lot of the people who will be watching or have seen the lead up to Logan and JJ's fight is that they're getting more people into boxing. Like, they're taking those casual fans and putting them into like proper boxing fans, and they're just getting regular people who know nothing about boxing. And they'll actually start getting into it because there's so much hype around it now. Like, I started watching them, and then that got me really hyped up to it. I already saw a bunch of fights before. Like, I've seen the Mayweather and McGregor fight. I saw a load of Anthony Joshua's fights. I've followed Anthony Joshua for a while, but I was never like a hardcore like into it. And now I've started doing it myself because what it does is it's drawing you in. It's drawing all the fans, JJ's fans, Deji's fans, Jake's fans, and Logan's fans, all into one place to watch. In a sparring match, because I'm pretty sure he got his ass beat in a sparring match before. All I can answer that is that Jake is in his own fucking reality. So much experience in fighting. He's such a good fighter. You know, he's done MMA. Okay, so now I'm going to go through all my predictions for the undercards and the main event, of course.
We do things without thinking about the consequence. I'm not a saint, but I care for more than just myself. The smoke and drinks become a little more than just for fun. When I get older, I hope I don't forget everyone. I'm paranoid about the people that I cannot see. And when the lights are off, I'm scared.